Happening today, law enforcement will join advocacy groups in Middletown to address the latest example of a very disturbing trend.
So following discovery of letters with hateful rhetoric left in driveways last week, communities across the state are now uniting and pulling together to effort change.
Let's get right out to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones for a preview of what we can expect today. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning. Well, just to give you an idea of how intense these letters were, the contents was so disturbing that we can't even air it. But some of the people who received these letters described them as vile, homophobic, racist. That's exactly why so many community members are showing up today looking for action and answers. According to police, about 100 Thompson residents woke up last week to profanity-laced 3-page letters left in bags in their driveways. The contents hateful and disturbing, some parts addressing specific residents by name, including some high school students. As the investigation continues today, Lieutenant Governor Susan Beiswitz, along with Connecticut State Police, members of hate crime advisory councils, and concerned residents will come together to discuss a plan of action. The meeting will be held today at the Connecticut State Police headquarters here in Middletown. It will start at 10:30. Everyone is welcome to attend, and of course Channel 3 will be here for all of it. So make sure you stick with us on air, online, and on our Channel 3 app. Reporting live in Middletown, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Marcy, thank you.